Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Junior.
And I'm already afraid of being alone in my room.
And we're
the Nerdy Bros.
Welcome back.
October starts and we start in horrors everywhere, and now it's scary.
Did you say horrors everywhere?
Horror is everywhere. Or do you think I said horrors are everywhere?
I thought you said horrors everywhere.
No. What a frightening thought, indeed. No, welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying this spooky month of October, and hope you guys are having fun.
Hope you guys are getting into the Halloween spirit.
I have 2 parties I have to go to, and I haven't decided on whether or not I want to get 2 different outfits or just one.
It just depends on, like, are people from one party going to be at the other party? And if the answer is no, then don't.
You're not wrong. But I take pictures probably in the costume element.
Like, costumes are not cheap
actually,
unless you make your own costume.
Yeah, that's true. When I did my Emperor Cusco costume like 5 years ago, I don't remember. I went to a party I think the following week, and like my friends were disappointed that I didn't wear it, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying not to wear the same thing again. I'm not some tacky person." Yeah. When it comes to Halloween costumes, I feel a little bit like when you buy a really expensive like dress for like a formal thing, you're like, no, I just bought it for this thing and I'm never wearing it again.
Right, but like at the same time, it's also one of those things where it's like adult costumes are like between $60 and $100.
Yeah, I wish
I
knew
to
get
get two of them for, especially if it's like on the same weekend or some shit like that, or it's like oh, I went to a party today and then like 2 days later I'm going to another one, so I was like, oh, I had to get a whole other costume.
Luckily, it's like they're 2 weeks apart. Like one's 1 weekend and another one's
do you ball up?
No, actually, that's a lie. It's Friday and then Saturday. I'm a liar. It's the same week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, big boy.
It is a lot of money. No, but I don't know. I feel like I spent a lot at the beginning of this month, kind of like getting squared up with some little minor debts, and I thought I would be like more in the red than I was, and then I got paid last week, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not in the red at all. So, Chinese tomorrow for lunch.
Okay. Sounds good. As long as it's around 2 o'clock.
It'll be just wake me up with food that I paid for.
Delicious. I've been craving Chinese food.
Good. All right, clearly off the walls. All right, guys, welcome back to the show.
We should do a mukbang one time.
Just that'll just be me just shoving.
Eat and talk.
Out of what though?
People like mukbangs.
I don't know.
Actually, you know what? It's different because if you can't see it and you're only listening to it, that's
just us chewing into the mics. Well, and we both have already talked about that we're loud ass chewers. That sounds awful.
Yeah. Well, I think what is it? Misophonia, I think is what it's called. Is like not miso-horny.
Yeah, you said miso, and I immediately.
It is. That's what it's called.
Number one, in my head, I'm like miso soup, miso horny. It's got to be one of those. No, not at all. It's actually just a real word.
No. I believe it's called misophonia. And it's like
isn't it misophobia? Because it's the fear.
Phonia. I don't know. I can totally look it up.
I think you're a big It's if it's the fear of something, then it always ends in phobia.
No, it's misophonia. I was right. Misophonia is a condition in which individuals experience.
Oh, it's a condition. It's not fear.
Yeah. Okay. Experience intense anger and disgust when they are confronted with sounds made by other human beings. So like. People who have this,
so cracking knuckles. So it's not just
cracking
chewing.
knuckles, yeah, but it's like chewing and then like, like chewing and stuff like that or like slurping, shit like that would be stuff that you'd be like, oh god, it's pissing me off that someone's doing this, or like fucking makes you feel some sort of way. I knew I was right. It was misophonia.
One of my exes used to get freaked out when I would like pull like little strands of hair, and she would see like the skin come up with the hair. So I'm not pulling the hair out, but I would just be like, and she would be like, oh, it's so gross. And I used to think that was hilarious.
Some people would call that abuse too.
I didn't do it that often. It happened like one time, and then I don't know. It's like when I don't know. It's like a little quirky thing she had about herself, and it was just like...
She's like, I hate it, and then you're like, sweet, I'm going to do it all the time.
I didn't do it all the time because it was painful. I don't do it to myself. It was just kind of funny in the moment.
All right, anyway, what the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. But we'll get the ball rolling, guys, with the start of the episode, like we start every other episode, with something called Junior's Hot Take. And this is part of the episode where we talk about something new and upcoming and get Junior's hot take and hot opinion on it. And Junior, it just started yesterday, and seeing as how we're in this, horrifying month of spookiness, we'll talk about something.
Called October.
Yeah, we'll talk about something that's gotten a kind of new type of revamp. I don't know. I think we definitely need to check out the first episode, which aired yesterday, as we just looked up. There's a TV series on Chucky, the Voodoo Cursed Doll.
Yes, I just watched the trailer for it. I honestly didn't even know until like 4 days ago that this even existed, which means they probably had trailers for this months ago.
I saw one a while back, but again, like Chucky was definitely nightmare fuel for me as a child, so I didn't just speak it into existence.
Right. I mean, like, I agree with you. There was certain ones, but like, again, both of us are close to our being 30 years old. Me,
doesn't help
like,
me
only
at
like
all.
3 weeks away. But
Ayo.
I didn't even know that this was a thing. I did watch the, I guess, remake,
Yes, it would be the remake.
the one where
Mark Hamill.
Mark
voices
Hamill,
Chucky.
Luke Skywalker voiced, the Chucky doll. Cause I'm like vaguely trying to remember. I don't remember if they talk about anything of this being something that's happened before. I don't know. I don't remember them referencing it happening in the past or anything like that. I think it might be a completely I think it was a complete revamp of the movie. But Aubrey Plaza played the mom.
Yes.
And so I do remember watching it.
Didn't we watch it at our cousin's place?
Yes,
Like the morning after a Halloween party?
I believe it was
Or was it during?
during the Halloween party.
Okay.
Like, it was like later on, a bunch of the guests had started to leave and stuff.
Oh.
But yeah. So I didn't even know that they were doing like a show, because this show looks like it's now backtracking to the original stuff.
Yeah, but the
Because
original
it has
stuff,
that
did you watch?
or it has the wife, the bride of Chucky in it.
Did you watch the later kind of movies of it, though?
I've seen Bride of Chucky. I never saw the Seed of Chucky.
So Bride of Chucky, I feel like, was maybe the last one that like fans were okay with, and then it just got like super convoluted and weird.
I think the original ones were like wholeheartedly like horror. Later on, they became kind of campy, and it was like, this is horror comedy, because there was so many sex puns, so much jokes and all
Seed
this
of
stuff.
Chucky was definitely campy.
I think even Bride of Chucky was campy.
Like a little bit, but not as bad as Seed of Chucky was. And then
I think like
they
2
had-
and 3 were still scary.
they had Cult of Chucky, and
Never heard of that.
there was Cult of Chucky, and then I think there was another one before they made a movie that was just called like Chucky again, and that one tried to recapture like the horror instead of it being campy.
There was Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, The Curse of Chucky, and Cult of Chucky. And then the remake in 2019 was called Child's Play again.
Okay, so
yeah, because it wasn't until the 4th movie that the name Chucky then got introduced into the title. Because then we had Bride, Seed, Curse, and Cult. And all of them had Chucky in it.
yeah, so Curse of Chucky, that one, so I guess Curse.
Well, that's
Curse
like a big jump. It's like
Yeah.
88, 90, 91, 98, 2004, which is only like 6 year, but then no until 2013, a 9-year gap. And then they get Curse of Chucky. Then 4 years after that, we get the Cult of Chucky. And then 2 years after that is the revamp.
Yeah, so Curse of Chucky did kind of do like a little more justice of trying to recapture the horror. That's why that was that big gap. And then Cult of Chucky, I just felt was like, it was like I think the idea behind like basically like Charles Lee, like the serial killer that's voodooed himself into this doll, found a way to be able to kind of split his soul and put it into multiple Chucky dolls.
Because
So
that's what they're talking about in the commercial for this
yeah,
show.
So the show is
I was
gonna
like,
pick
what?
up,
Wait, when the fuck did they do that?
yeah, like Andy makes a reappearance. I think not in Bride or in Seed. He makes a reappearance at the end of Cult of Chucky, and then or in Curse of Chucky, he makes an appearance at the end, which is actually really cool because like Andy's not at all anywhere to be seen in the film. And then I think it's either like literally the last like 2 minutes, or it's like an end credit scene where like they deliver this package to Andy, and then he like sets it down on the table, and like the camera just pans and you get to see that he's kind of started a family and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden you see like a knife poke out of the box, open it up, and then Chucky kind of like pops up, starts looking around, and then like once he turns all the way around, he's just like, Andy, and Andy's already got like a shotgun pointed at him, and he's like, hey Chucky, let's play, and then just shoots him, and the movie ends. So I thought that was kind of cool, basically, that he's like always been on his like toes for this.
So then, yeah, like I said, so then this show is basically erasing the fact that there's a new Child's Play.
Yeah.
And is going back to what happens in the Cult of Chucky, because you're talking about he splits himself.
The new Child's Play was 110% like a completely new thing, because there's no voodoo in it. There's no serial killer that got implanted in this. It's literally just an AI that gets.
It gets you're right.
What is it?
It's Small Soldiers.
Yeah, more or less, kind of.
This AI gets smart and learns.
No, it's not smart. They show you at the beginning of the movie one of the manufacturers that are making the like chips for the dolls.
You put munitions chips in toys?
He gets fired, and so he messes with the last chip that he's working on, and turns off, I guess, like the inhibitor. That would keep Chucky from harming like anybody else.
Yes,
but
because it's all about he's trying to protect the kid that he has.
Well, yeah, he's trying to be his best friend, and like doing anything he can to make sure that works and no one gets in the way of that. Which is obviously different than the original series, which is Charles is trying to get out of the Chucky doll.
Yes, and into the boy's body.
Andy.
Which is weird. Why? Like, I understand that would make the most sense because he's around the kid. But why would you want to get into a child's body as an adult?
I mean, if you think about it, it's more or less of a way. I feel like that's what happens in any type of fantasy, like fiction, where like you can move your soul. You want it in a younger body so you can live out a full life again.
I guess, but like I would be like an 18-year-old, not an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, kids are more innocent, so he could be like a child serial killer and no one would suspect him.
I mean, yes and no. Like, if anything, he's like in the perfect thing. It's like, no one will suspect me as long as I don't reveal. Like Chucky's problem is that he reveals himself to the child.
That's just like I just think Andy's coming from like Toy Story and it's just falling over.
Except yeah, like he doesn't care that he reveals himself to the kid. So like. And he's like, I can't kill the kid because the kid's is what's going to keep me going around here or whatever.
Well, plus, like, anytime Andy tries to say anything, too, he just ends up looking like a nut job.
Yeah. So he kind of had the perfect thing going, and then he fucked it all up.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we'll have to watch the first episode, and then we'll talk about it on next week's podcast. Cause
for sure.
We haven't watched it yet. But, I mean, as long as I don't have to, because like I said, I don't even think I've seen the first one. I've seen the third one. I've seen Bride, and I haven't seen it. I never saw Child's Play 2. No, I have seen Child's Play 2. So I've seen the first 4 and haven't seen anyone past that except for the newest one. So if there's anything that I don't know and you have seen, just be like, yeah, they're talking about this or whatever. Maybe just the fact that you told me that he split himself and the Cult of Chucky is enough, and I don't really need to know anything else. But
yeah, in Cult of Chucky, I'm pretty sure like Andy's hiding out in like a cabin in the woods with Chucky's dismembered head from like the original doll, and he thinks like this is. I mean, I feel like I would have thought of that after like the second movie. Like if he came back after he had gotten his first body killed in the first one, then it'd just be like, I'm just gonna keep like your head and your body like alive because you don't he doesn't need food to survive. It's just like, but he has like he's like pumped.
Yeah,
full
he's
of,
like blood. Yeah. That's the part where I'm like, if he just transferred his body into a doll, why the fuck does he bleed? And
dude,
like,
and he feels pain. Like some of the parts are definitely pretty gruesome. Like what is it? I think he gets his like hand messed up in the second one, and so he puts it into like a vice grip and then pulls the like tiny little hand off, and you hear him like screaming in pain as he does it. And then he like, I think he takes like a switchblade, takes out the blade part, and then just shoves it into his stub. So I don't, but I feel like that's just another element of terrifyingness that this doll bleeds and feels pain.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, so we'll watch that.
Got him. Dude, the end of the first movie when they just have like his burnt head and the body, what is it? The burned body comes out of the vent and the head comes back alive. And got him. Oh god, yeah, nightmare fuel. Nothing but night. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
Anyway, well, we're definitely gonna watch the Chucky episode once we get done with this.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so we'll report back and let you know what we thought about the first episode and if it's worth watching or not.
Yeah. And moving things right along, we come to a fan favorite segment known as
Anime is an important part of our culture.
And for this week,
and there's really nothing to talk about.
So actually, I did want to talk about a couple things. I spoke before about this anime. It's called Way of the Household Husband.
Yeah.
Season 2 just came out, and I'm really excited to dive into those episodes. And also, season 3 of Scissor 7 came out, which I don't know. I think I might have mentioned it before, but I don't know if you've ever seen it or not. The gist of it basically is this kid is a hairstylist, but and he works for like a blue chicken that talks.
Actually, wait, you have mentioned that. I remember the chicken thing.
Yeah. So, I used to look at it as kind of dumb. Also, it's a Chinese anime. And I didn't notice that before because I think I clicked on to watch season 3 and it was in the original language that it's supposed to be in, and it's Mandarin, not like Japanese. So
it's a Chiname?
No. No.
I tried.
But yeah, it's hilarious. And at first, like I remember watching the like trailer for it originally and just thinking, you know how you can just kind of like have your cursor like over the show and then it'll just play a trailer for it, or like if you're just sitting on it. Yeah. So like I remember watching it and then just thinking like this looks dumb, and then I watched it and it was funny, but it gets
stupid.
Like, no, the fights get like exponentially cooler, and so like at the end of season 2 was amazing. So I've been watching a couple episodes of season 3, and I'm really enjoying it. Can't wait to see where else that all goes. I still haven't watched the 7 Deadly Sins movie, and I've heard good things about it. So I need to hop on that. And then Netflix has actually been adding a lot of animes.
Yeah, they're actually doing an episodic one.
Yes, Blue Period.
Yeah, but it's just Japanese. I saw.
So okay,
because like I saw only the first episode was out, and I clicked on it, and I couldn't change it to like English dub.
Yeah,
so maybe it'll let me
there's
do
that
that
one,
later
and they
on
have
or
like
not.
some BMX anime. I think that's out there now too.
That one I didn't see.
So they put a lot of stuff out, but I did kind of want to ask you: have you ever seen or watched an anime that you would consider probably that was like horror specific, and not so much of the fact that there was
Parasite.
I guess that one would kind of fall. Yeah, definitely fall into
Gantz.
Gantz, but that one was also like action packed too. Because this,
Yeah, but like everyone fucking dies.
But what I was gonna say was not an anime that includes like just gory action or just like a monsters that ripping people apart. I'm talking about like an anime that would specifically fall into like a horror genre.
Well, I mean, like stuff like Bleach, there's a lot of blood and shit like that, but like that's not just because it's gory doesn't necessarily mean it's horror. But like Parasite is like that one's kind of like fucking. I don't know, dude. I don't think there's anime with like jump scares. Not that I've seen anyway. Not necessarily that there has to be jump scares for it to be a horror, but
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I pay way too much attention to the animes, like in general per se, that I can't really notice if there's a lot of like background music. Like we talked about it last year during the month of October. Like a lot of the like soundtracks and music behind a lot of these scary scenes, or what kind of like get you like feeling a certain type of way. Like, and they even do it now to like.
well,
play
I just like
tricks on
quickly
you.
Google. Okay, so first of all, I did want to mention this just real quick before we get into this. The new trailer for the second half of season 4 of Attack on Titan is out.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Okay, I have not watched it.
so we'll have to watch that. But like I quickly just looked up horror anime. I was gonna say Blood Sea because I've seen that, but like that doesn't really get really bad until like the end of the show. There's like some, again, most of these have like really cool fight scenes and shit like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, if it's action packed, then there's blood in it, or like dismemberment.
Because
Because
they
stuff
got
like
Attack on
that.
Titan on as a horror anime, and I wouldn't necessarily consider it a horror anime. I mean, like there's like there's bad shit.
Yeah. The thing that like I would say falls into the horror category in Attack on Titan specifically would be the scenes where it's like, it's not just like if a Titan kills somebody, it's more of the fact that they show you like the fucking absolute fear and nightmare that this person is going through right before they get like eaten. Like they like beg for their life and all this stuff. So I feel like that's where like it definitely falls into play for that.
But yeah, I was gonna, like I said, Parasite's one. I don't know. I think some people would consider fuck, I'm like blanking on the name. Notebook one. Death Note.
Yeah.
Death Note.
Notebook.
No, I'm like, it's a notebook. Death Note. That came to
Notebook
me.
of Dying.
Yeah,
Death
the
Note.
Death Note. Some people would consider the Death Note one like a horror one.
I don't know. I felt like that one was more like a psychological like thriller.
Yeah, I don't know. Trying to think. Elfen Lied. I don't know. That one's kind of fucking gory.
I still only got through like the first 2 episodes and then never
There's only like
finished it.
12 of them. I watched
Yeah.
them all, but like just the beginning of that is really fucked up. So I don't know. That one is kind of like Stranger Things-esque. Like these people have been like experimented on also, and like that's why they have these powers. But yeah, I don't know. So like maybe it's not really horror, but it's like it is like really gory and stuff. Gender Blue or Blue Gender.
Blue Gender.
That one has like a lot of people get fucking killed, and it's like giant bugs and shit.
Giant bugs are terrifying, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like and also that's not necessarily like, although like now I'm saying that I'm like, I have watched like quite a few, but it's like, I wouldn't necessarily consider like, those aren't the ones that I typically go after. And I don't know if you told me about Parasite or I just watched Parasite and then I told you, and I don't even know if you've ever even watched it or not.
Yeah, I think we were watching it simultaneously.
Yeah.
You finished it before me though. I think we started it together and then you just kept watching.
There's the one that I talked about, and I ended up buying the Blu-ray of because seasons 2 and 3, I couldn't find dubbed anywhere, so I had to buy the DVDs of that I told you about, which is like the stories, like as the episodes go, you start figuring out more and more shit, but like the stories keep going like back and forth in like different timelines. It's weird.
That
But
just sounds like The Witcher.
that's the one where like you've seen that clip that we talked about. The girl puts the butcher knife up against the wall and then slams her head into it and kills herself.
Oh yeah.
Like that one, I was like, there's like a lot of like gory, bloody shit in that one. So I don't know. Don't know if I necessarily call that one a horror one or not. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to mention that the Attack on Titan, the trailer for the second half of the season's out. And then aren't we gonna get, I know we've already talked about this before, but aren't we like really close to getting the My Hero movie?
It's the 29th.
Oh, and we finished the season, by the way. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I seriously disappointed in this season.
You're disappointed in it. Why?
The 5th season was terrible. The 5th season is the worst season of all 5 seasons that have come out so far. You cannot tell me there's one season that was worse than this one. There was like no big bad.
I mean, I don't know. I felt like Destro was definitely a big bad.
Not for the good guys.
Yeah, well, you saw it from one side of things though. Like they
the
were
My
even
Villain
calling...
Academia episodes I could have done without. Like
what? You're
I
fucking insane.
No, you didn't need them because they already do stuff where like I could have just gotten like a Tomura Shigaraki like fucking, because they did it with Tomura and they did it with what's his twice where they gave us backstory episodes on them. Like I could have got those are fine, but like
you got a little bit of a backstory too with Himiko Togo.
Yeah, but like I don't know, dude. Like this whole season was a setup, and it's like bullshit. Like usually there's something that they're working towards. This entire season was blue balls. Just kept fucking setting you up, and then gave you nothing at the end. And it was like, and here comes the big fight in fucking next year. It's like, are you serious? This movie better be the best of the three, because
I mean,
this whole season was sucked. I hated the beginning. I told you about how I hated that it was just them it was like powers we've already seen. It was like, oh, we got to see class 2A or whatever. Who fucking cares? And then the training stuff, I would have rather that it just stayed with the three of them with Endeavor, and we got to just find out more shit about the bad, like I would have rather see more of Hawks in the infiltration and all this stuff. We just got that little snippet shit at the end, and I kept waiting for like some mega huge reveal or something, and it just never came. Like if the whole season would have been about Deku discovering more of the powers, I would have been cool with that.
No, like I feel
we
like
didn't even see him. All of a sudden, the villains episodes are over, and Deku's like, "Look at this! I can use them all now. I have control over them for 1 second." And I was like, "Fuck this! This season was terrible."
I don't know. I feel like you're too stuck on the idea of like you want it to be good but not lengthy, so you don't want some like giant setup. Like the manga's still going on. This show is, or the series is not over.
I didn't say it was over, but like.
No, I know, but still, like, I feel like you want everything and you want it now. And I mean,
there is a villain. There's gotta be some villain or something in the season. There, you want to see that. You get a villain in all of the seasons. And this season had nothing. It was just a giant setup that is leading to this huge epic battle, and then it's like, but wait till the next season, and then it's like, are you fucking serious?
I don't know. I enjoyed this season. I like, by no means would I call it the worst season, because I don't think they have a worse season. It's still one of my favorite shows.
First of all, there's 5 seasons, so just
yeah, but worse paints it in a negative connotation. Like you could definitely rank them and say like maybe this might be my least favorite, but I wouldn't like calling it the worst. Is just it's coming from a place of you just not liking it.
I didn't like it. Oh. I laughed. Some of that, like the episodes some of them were entertaining and funny, but like the season overall was not good. I was just like, what is this shit? Like, and I kept waiting at least for like one big reveal of something, like just something of a huge reveal would have been enough to be like, all right, there wasn't like a big bad villain or whatever. Dude, coming off of season 4, you cannot fucking tell me that you're like, oh, this season was good. Are you kidding me? Season 4 was amazing.
Season 4 was amazing.
Season 4 was fucking incredible. This season was shit.
It wasn't shit.
So bad.
No.
So, yeah. I didn't like this season. Demon Slayer season 2, the first 7 or 8 episodes, whatever the fuck they ended up saying, just gonna be Mugen Train with a little extra shit. Terrible already. Not don't like that already. So fucking that second half of season 4 of Attack on Titan better be the best shit ever, because I'm like not disappointed so far in the animes that we're watching. The Jujutsu Kaisen movie better be amazing, even though I have already said it's not really gonna make not gonna really matter. It's not gonna progress the story in any way. So that's another thing that I'm just like, it's gonna be cool, hopefully, but who knows?
I have high hopes, and I am enjoying everything.
Wow. Anyway, segment over. All right.
Jesus,
so
Junior, tell us how you really feel.
I did just tell you how I really felt. What I should have said is rant over. So what have you been? Oh, I know you've been playing a lot of video games, so you probably haven't been watching much of anything.
Well, I'm in serious preparation for season 3 of You. I'm already like on the 3rd episode of season 2 of You, and I know that I should be watching these other shows that are brand new that I'm trying to finish. But again, like I knew season 3 was coming out, and I just wanted like this quick refresher. And I know I say quick, and that's a damn dirty lie, because the episodes are like 40 to 50-minute long, and there's 10 for each season.
Like,
so.
I don't, but the thing is, like, I don't even really, I don't know. To me, it's that one, for some reason, this one doesn't seem, I don't feel as like I need to know what happened in the other seasons. It's like, all I need to know is at the end of the first season, he killed the girl that he was obsessed with. At the end of the second season, he was going to kill the girl, and then he found out she was pregnant, and then they got married, and now they're in suburbia. And that's all you really need to know. There's like no other big fucking thing. He's a fucking psycho who kills a lot of people. She's also a fucking psycho. Bring on season 3.
Yes.
I didn't really need like that one. I will agree with you that on other shows, when the new season starts, I'm like, fuck, what happened at the end of the last season? And this one isn't one that I'm like, what happened? I need to remember.
I just need to get back into rewatching it, because I know when we were talking about like how season 3 was coming out, and it was just like the show kind of almost makes you want to root for Joe at the beginning until like he does like a bunch of the messed up stuff. But like rewatching, even in season 1, his narration is at the same time incredible and cool and horrifyingly creepy. Like how he just like, it's like perfect. I don't
like he should write a book is what he should do.
It literally just like, well, I mean they were books. Or do you mean Joe?
I'm saying Joe.
Oh yeah.
Like if Joe just wrote what he was thinking and just published scary novels.
Yeah, right.
Instead of actually committing the murders.
But
like, he would probably be better off.
Yeah, it's just how he like will word everything and then quickly like rationalizes it and then just goes back to like, you just, I'm doing this for you though. Like it's terrifying, but it's awesome.
The writing's really good. Yeah,
the writing is incredible, man. Like, I mean, again, hopefully the books like are, or I guess hopefully the show are doing the books justice, and whoever the creative mind and author was behind this series, kudos to you, because it's a fantastic show. But I've been watching that. Like I said, I've like a few episodes into Scissor 7. I feel like
we're watching Criminal Minds.
Yeah, but I finished season 12. I need to re-up on Hulu so I can watch all the other seasons. And I loved how at the end of season 12 they brought back Aubrey Plaza, and then I think she's also in like a future episode too. So I loved her in Criminal Minds, even originally when she was just like, she was a contract killer. Yeah, I finished up that. Need to re-up on Hulu so I can watch the rest of that. But again, all in due time. I need to watch this fucking movie and then finish the Scissor 7 series, because the episodes aren't long at all. And also Way of the Household Husband, because I got to know what he's up to. And also
what movie? Oh, the
7 Deadly Sins movie.
Yeah. I was like, what movie?
So I do have a lot of stuff to watch. Like right now, and kind of to your point, it's more of just I'm trying to recapture kind of the story. So like even right now, earlier today, I've got You playing on my phone, and I'll look over to it every now and then, but I'm more listening to it and then just kind of like grinding in the games that I've been playing. So I'm not too worried about that. But Game wise, like I said, I dove back in. I went to GameStop last week before I went grocery shopping, and I actually pre-ordered a few games. I'm getting the new Guardians of the Galaxy game that'll drop later this month. I think it's towards the end of the month. And that one you only get to play as Star-Lord, but from what I've seen from the trailers, the combat still looks pretty cool.
Well, didn't you kind of dislike that you got to that you played as like all of the characters in the Marvel game?
Well, so in the Marvel game, it wasn't so much that I disliked it. I did like kind
the
of
Avengers game.
Yeah, the Avengers game. I did like kind of like moving around as the other characters, but then once I got Iron Man, I specifically really liked playing as him. And everyone did have different like move sets, but I don't know. Usually with games like that, because it also reminds me, I don't know if you ever played Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
No, I think I watched you play.
So like the combat, because there are so many characters that you can play as, sometimes the combat gets a little more like simplified. Like, yeah, every single character has unique special moves, but like, I don't know, fighting becomes a little more mundane. I like, especially with the fact that both of us are huge Soulsborne players in games like that, I like a little more of a challenge. Like literally like challenging games are what draw me in the most. Second would be anything that looks extremely well, I should say like written. Like if the story looks phenomenal and I want to know what happens in it, like I want to get it, which was the pull for Death Stranding, which up to date, neither one of us have beaten.
Yes.
But like, I still do want to know what happens, but because I have it, I don't just want to like, watch the YouTube movie to just get all the cutscenes. Somewhere in my mind, I'll eventually get to it one day. But yeah, once I got to actually playing it, it was just kind of like, oh, I thought this was going to be maybe a little bit more.
It's like extremely repetitive with like no combat whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, it's just like some of the trailers made it seem like, because he ends up having guns, so it was just like, oh, maybe there'll be a little more combat instead of just walking around with like goods and stuff. And I don't know. I'm not gonna say bored, but just disinterested.
I just feel like it's super side questy because my problem is that like when
I don't mind side quests though. Like,
no, but
fun,
like
though.
Because I would like walk and I would be carrying some shit, but then all of a sudden you find abandoned packages and I can't just be like, I'm not gonna pick it up. Like I'd always be picking them up. So all of a sudden I'm like
tower on your
I'm
back,
like fucking loaded, and then I come across like the fucking hand monster things, and then I'm like, God damn it,
I'm screwed now.
Yeah, it's like I can't move fast enough.
Yeah, so, but no, yeah. So I pre-ordered that Guardians of the Galaxy game. You only play as Star-Lord, but it looks like as Star-Lord, I'm not 100% sure how it'll work, but depending on what other Guardians are with you, your special moves end up being like you basically like call them in to do like one of their things or whatever. So I don't know. I am excited to kind of play it though. The story seems like it could be kind of cool. And then I pre-ordered 2 games that aren't coming out till next year. One of which is Elden Ring, which on the off chance we haven't talked about it. It's from Software, so it's the creators of the Dark Souls and the Bloodborne franchise. But the lore and story is being written by George R. Martin.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. They have dropped a little bit of a trailer, and it looks insane because it looks like they might combine like a Dark Souls playstyle with a little bit of a hack and slash playstyle. And I don't know, just some of the combat that I saw going on in the trailer, it seemed like this game could potentially be like extremely awesome, like maybe even better than some of the Souls games that I have played. So I'm excited for that. That's not till January 22nd, I think. And then I pre-ordered the deluxe edition of Horizon Zero Dawn, the Forbidden West, which comes with a statue. And I'm thinking we could just add it right next to Kratos when it comes in.
Yeah, I don't know. I have been thinking about maybe moving and maybe just changing the table completely,
rearranging it.
Yeah, I mean we've had like the same table for like a year now, so it's like.
Well, I mean, we just added Batman like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, a little different. I
mean, the Batman's gonna have to go away if we have guests anyway.
Yeah,
be able to sit out there.
Just like, well, they'll just sit down.
Yeah. Batman, lie down, please.
Yeah. But so those are all games that I was excited for, and then there were a couple. Since I got my PSN account back, I shouldn't be browsing for like indie games / just games in general. on PSN, but there were a couple games that I saw. There is, what is it called? They were like spin-offs of the Yakuza series, though. I think it was called like Justice. Well, it was like Justice and then Objection. No, it was like Justice and then like True Justice. I don't know, but it seems like it was. I think the main character was a lawyer and then did something or other that like got him lost his job or was involved in some crime, and now he's trying to, I think, clear his name. But both those games look pretty good. And then one that's coming up for the PS5, I think, in a couple weeks. There was it's called like Kenna Bridge of Spirits, I think. I don't know. That one's a little more cartoony, but it looks kind of cool. Maybe something like a nice playthrough, or maybe even like an easy plat. So, but that's what's been all over my radar and what I've been up to. I don't think I've really sat down and watched any movies though.
I've seen quite a bit of movies.
Yes, you have.
I watched The Addams Family 2. Went to the movie theater and saw that with the kids. It was pretty funny. I liked it. I don't think I'd watch the first one because I'm like watching the second one and I'm like, is Nick Kroll Uncle Fester? And
wait, you didn't see the first one?
No.
Oh, I thought you did. Wasn't it like Amaya's favorite movie for a hot
she
minute?
wanted me to get it. I got it. I mean, it's like there's some it's not a Disney movie. It's like Disney. I'm like, yes, I must see the new Disney movie. And like some of these, I'm like, nah, I don't really care. Like I put it on and like I probably saw some of it, but wasn't like actively sitting there and watching it. So I saw that. Max wanted to watch Ghostbusters, the original, so I rented it and we watched it together.
Did he actually watch it all?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wow.
He just wanted to see Slimer and the Marshmallow Man. That's all he cared about.
What?
He kept going like, where's the Marshmallow Man? And I knew that wasn't until the end of the movie. But I'm like, dude, you're just going to have to keep watching it. I was like, just keep watching it.
How does he know about them?
He saw it in like YouTube videos or something. But so he knew about
I didn't even know
Slimer.
the Marshmallow Man was the first movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he wanted to see that. When he saw him come on screen, he got so excited. He's like, "It's him! I can't believe it! The Marshmallow Man!" It's so funny. So yeah, we watched that.
Have you seen all the Ghostbusters?
I don't remember.
There was 3, right?
The second
3 and then the
one.
remake?
No. 2 and then the remake.
There was only 2?
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2, then the new Ghostbusters with the female Ghostbusters, and now there's the new one that's coming out, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, that looks kind of
That
cool.
one looks cool.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I know for a fact I've seen the first one and the remake. I just don't know if I've seen the second one.
I don't think I've seen the second one either.
Who are you going to call? Somebody else.
But the Afterlife one actually comes out in November, like halfway through November.
So that's coming up soon.
Yeah. So I watched that. I watched an anthology series, which I'd seen the first season when it first came out, and I had not seen the second season, and that had come out in 2020. So I just sat down and binged it all the way through. Tell Me a Story, which is a Paramount original, which I guess technically was a CBS original, but now it's Paramount Plus.
Is it like scary?
Not really. It's like the first season, it's like retelling of classic fairy tales.
Oh, okay.
But with like modern twists, shit like that. So like, but what was cool was it had a lot of the same actors in season 1 and season 2, except that the 2 seasons like don't have anything to do with each other.
Okay. So they were just playing completely different characters?
Yeah.
All right.
So in the second season, they're telling the stories of Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. Oh, and Beauty and the Beast.
But they're modern retellings of it?
Yeah, so
But is it like the original fairy tales or like the children versions of them?
No. So the thing is, so like It like mainly revolves around like one family because there's like the siblings in the family are each connected to one of the stories. So like the youngest of the siblings, they're like all adults, but the youngest of the siblings is like a pop star. She gets like severely burned because somebody tries to kill her in a car bomb, and she gets like burned and she falls in love with her like security guard who's like her bodyguard. So that's like the Beauty and the Beast story, except she's the beast in this one. Then her older sister is dating is technically engaged to this guy, and the guy that she's engaged to is a writer, but he has trouble sleeping and writing. He gets like writer's block. So he kidnaps women and keeps them chained up in his basement. And then he injects them with a sedative and he gets into bed with them just to sleep. He never does anything with them except sleep next to him. Because when he was a boy, he had a twin sister that drowned. And when he was scared that he would sleep in the same bed with his sister, and so he kidnaps these women just to sleep, and then he's able to like write, and he also has like these really bad nightmares, so he stays awake a lot. So the only time he feels that he can sleep is next to this like a he basically gets these women and then turns them into like a surrogate sister, because he has like all of his sister's like old childhood shit in the room that he keeps them in, and he calls them Anna a lot, which was his sister's name.
I mean, what does he do with them after, though?
So what happens is he explains that the first two, his only one rule is don't try to escape. So he did kill the first two women, and he buried them in the yard of like he stays like in a lake house cabin is like also where he lives and where he writes, but he like does sometimes stay in the city, which is Nashville, with his fiance. But he has these two rose beds, and that's where the women are buried. So the third girl that he has kidnapped, he tells her like, don't escape or you're gonna end up becoming like my next rose bed or whatever. And then the brother of the two sisters kind of is like the Prince Charming to the Cinderella story, because the girl comes back to Nashville because of her dad's funeral. She comes back for the funeral, and she has a stepmother, and she has two stepbrothers, not stepsisters. But in the reading of the will, it turns out that the dad left everything to the stepmom, and he owns like one of like the largest like bourbon distilleries or whatever. So like she basically gets like cut out of the will. It's like he only left her like $25,000, which is like nothing compared to like how much money they're worth and all this shit. But it turns out that the stepbrothers had manipulated stuff, and they actually changed the will. Everything had been left to her and all this shit. Really, really cool show. But yeah, it's not really like a horror show or anything like that.
I mean, some of the shit sounded horrifying.
Yeah. Like there's like killings and shit like that that's going on. But yeah, it was a cool show. I like binged it all, like 10 episodes of that. And then I watched like 2 new horror movies that like came out. One of them on Netflix. Both of the ones that I watched were like rated really poorly, but I watched them because they were both new. One of them is called There's Someone Inside Your House. That one's on Netflix, and that one's cool. It was like about it was like a teen slasher movie, and it was like the killer was releasing all the bad secrets of the person that he was killing after they got killed or during like.
So like a vigilante killer?
Yeah. And it was like the person that was getting killed was finding out why they were being killed as they were getting like murdered. And then like everybody else was like receiving the text of like, this is why this person's dead. Like this is the fucked up shit they did. So there was that one, which I enjoyed it, even though it got like a really bad like rating on like IMDb, like it got like a 4.8 or something. I thought it was a decent movie. Then the one on Amazon was called Black as Night, which was a vampire movie, but that one was fucking god awful.
Ooh.
The writing was so bad. The dialogue was terrible. Like that one, I think got like a 3 or a 3 point something on IMDb. They did share an actress though. Both movies had an actress in common who was like a main character in like both of the movies. But yeah, that the vampire one was bad. It was like these vampires in like New Orleans. The problem is like
Vampires in New Orleans, isn't that also?
That's the originals. That that takes place in New Orleans.
No, isn't Interview with a Vampire? Aren't they also in New Orleans or no? Actually, they go all over the country.
Yeah, I think they are in New Orleans at one point.
Yeah, I was about to say Lestat and the other one, but they when they're living.
Well, yeah,
together,
it's like French. Yeah, those are they have like Lestat and the other one. Yeah, but it had potential, but the writing was just bad. The dialogue was really bad. Cause like the premise was like these old ass vampires. It was like this guy was a slave, got turned into a vampire, killed his master, and had like risen to power. And he was now turning homeless and like drug addicted people, like people that nobody would miss or whatever, into a vampire army so that they could take over New Orleans. So it was like it had a decent premise, but the writing was just so fucking bad.
Did Blade show up?
No.
And just start.
And actually, the slave turned like vampire like lord or whatever was Sergeant Kilgore from Delta Farce.
What? Really?
Yeah. Like I think he was like really the only like big name actor that was in it.
Okay.
But
was he not the main character?
No, he's like the main villain.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but there was like other vampires who were actually trying to kill this vampire because they were like good vampires. They're like, we don't feed on people per se. We figured out ways to go around that, or like we have people who like actually volunteer to be fed on or whatever. And like this guy was like taking over, like I said, they were like feeding on fucking homeless people and people who had like drug problems and turning them into vampires just to build an army. I don't know. It was bad though. But anyway, like that's pretty much it. Well, aside from I caught all the way up with the second season of Truth, which is an Apple TV original that stars the second season. Well, both seasons star Octavia Spencer, and she plays like she's a podcaster, and it's like true crime podcast. But like it's like each episode, like there's certain podcasts that do this where like each episode it gets a little bit further and further. Like it's like still like unraveling the mystery. It's not like a crime that's been solved and they're just talking about it. They're like actually journalists trying to solve this as it's happening.
Oh, okay.
So the first season I watched, the second season is still not over, and the other big name is Kate Hudson. So, but that show's really good. I recommend it if you have Apple. I mean, Apple TV so far, as far as the ones that I've seen, don't have bad shows.
Shout out to my buddy Jonah. I mentioned C and Ted Lasso to him. Told him about like if he had Apple Plus, he was like, "Well, I might have to check him out." Some people have told me, and like literally the next week he was like, "Damn you, like, dude, I just binged." He like binged the crap out of the first season of Ted Lasso. And he was just like, all right, let me give C a chance. And then he started C, and he's like, C's way more up my alley. Like, I'm already on season 2.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
But anyway, enough of all that. We're like almost an hour in.
Sometimes we do a lot of stuff and we catch up the audience on what we've been doing. Like that's a part of the podcast. Then you guys know some of the good stuff that's out there that you
Yeah.
guys should also be checking out.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That I hope that's part of the reason why you guys listen to us for recommendations on shit.
Yeah, man. We like cool shit.
But anyway, this week I wanted to talk about it's hard to like, I don't know. To me, I would consider some of them horror movies. Some people might consider them more suspense thrillers and stuff like that. Sometimes some of these overlap. But I wanted to talk about not your typical horror movies. They're not monster movies. Although you might consider them monsters because human beings are fucking monsters sometimes. And I wanted to talk about like home invasion movies because those are like shit that can actually fucking happen, and I'm sure have happened to people.
And I mean, last week we did touch base on, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, what is it? The one with the blind guy?
Don't Breathe, that was last week.
Don't Breathe, yeah. Talked about that, and the fact that Don't Breathe 2 is coming out.
Right. So I just like typed in like home invasion movies, and like a list came up, but there's like subcategories. So I just kind of wanted to name a few, and I don't know, and you can chime in if because I don't know how many of these you've seen.
We'll see.
Starting off with, well, we talked about Don't Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just recently saw this one, Fear, which stars super young Mark Wahlberg and super young Reese Witherspoon. And she's like a high schooler. Reese Witherspoon's a high schooler. And she starts dating this guy named David, who's played by Mark Wahlberg, who's like 19, 20 years old or whatever. So he's like out of high school. And it starts off like, it's like a romance movie. And then it quickly fucking takes a turn when you find out that like Mark Wahlberg's character is like a fucking psychopath who like...
So this is dude, I've never heard of this, but this sounds insane.
It's on HBO, so you can watch it. That's where I saw it. I mean, I don't know if it's still on there or not, but yeah, I won't like give away everything, but it's like he turns out to be like a fucking super controlling psychopath fucking guy, does some fucked up shit, and it ends in like a home invasion as like how the movie like ends or whatever. So I would watch that. That's a good one. This one I think is maybe a little bit newer than Fear. The Panic Room. Have you seen that one? I think that has Ashley Judd in it.
I feel like I've definitely heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
I think that one's like from like 99. Nope, 2002. But that one's like 3 people break into this lady's house and she has a panic room. You know who her daughter is played by Kristen Stewart. She's like super, super young. And they get into their panic room and they just keep trying to break into the panic room. I know that there's like a bigger thing. Like they didn't just break into like steal. It's like something specific that they're trying. I don't know if it's like a kidnap they're trying to do or some shit. But that one's a good movie too. There's like some like so like from the 1990s there's Fear, Cape Fear, which I believe was directed by Martin Scorsese. Yeah. Robert De Niro
It's terrifying.
Have you seen that one?
Yes, I have seen Cape Fear.
Yeah, that one's really good.
He is terrifying.
Yeah. That one's good. Let's see what other ones on here from the 90s. Oh, When a Stranger Calls Back. I watched the original, and then the sequel came out in the 97.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sequel better than the original one. But that one's really cool. If you haven't seen, there's those, and then there was the remake from like 2006, also called When a Stranger Calls.
Yeah, which probably more people remember since they probably didn't watch the original one.
But those ones are really cool. It's like the premise is like a babysitter gets a phone call and
have you checked the children?
Yeah. And fucking creepy. Fucking creepy shit.
I just try to like I think of like, let's just 16-year-old me, like I'm babysitting or something, and like someone calls them, have you checked the I'll hang up and like, if you guys are okay, come downstairs. No? Okay.
Fuck, they're dead.
Oh, shit.
I'm leaving. Fuck this place. I'm not getting paid enough of this shit. $15 an hour and a fucking pizza? Fuck this.
Oh man.
You're on your own.
No, I don't even know what I would do, and it's like even something as like crazy as like every Scream movie starting with like the notorious phone call of like, do you want to play a game? Like, no, I don't want to play a game. Who are you? Like, I'm gonna stand in a corner with either I'd probably grab one of my swords. I don't have a gun, but like, it'd be like, come find me. If you want to fight, we're gonna fight right here. If not, I'm gonna stay awake till you show your face, and then we'll see who survives. But no, I'm not just gonna do what a killer wants me to do.
Yeah, it's like, come find me. It always happens. The problem is you're in your bedroom and then they're like, come find me. They're already in your fucking closet.
Yeah.
They're just like, they're waiting for you to walk out so then they can walk out of the closet and be like, I'm behind you, motherfucker.
Yeah. No. God. Oh, God. That's... and then the original, too, because I remember after you told me about it, I watched the entire movies on YouTube. I watched the beginning of it and then the end. It's just, that dude's voice was so good. Why haven't you checked the children?
She's like, what do you want? If you wanted to scare me, you succeeded. What do you want? Your blood all over my body. And I'm just like, fucking shit.
Just walk out. Just no.
So like more horror ones. Well, we've mentioned Don't Breathe. Have you seen Hush? That one is on Netflix, and I've seen it, and it's good.
Isn't that the one where the girl is deaf?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's really good. She's like out in the middle of the woods, and she's like, she's an author, and she's like writing a book, and yeah, she's deaf, and there's like a stalker that's like outside who's wearing like a fucking white mask, and he's just like terrorizing her. But yeah, what makes it more terrorizing is that she can't fucking hear when he's like trying to break in and shit like that.
Well, I was gonna say, isn't like a lot of the movie kind of like just like there's no sound at all?
Yeah, because it's like sometimes there's like certain points where you're like seeing it through like her perspective, kind of. Mm-hmm. One thing that I guess just got recently pointed out, which I think I saw like on TikTok, is like at the beginning of the movie, she's like with her editor, and her editor like either hands her a book. And she's like, you should read this, or she's the author of this book, and the title of the book is Midnight Mass, and that just recently came out on Netflix.
Oh, I think I saw something.
And
about
it's like
that,
a horror series on Netflix, or a supernatural series. So I don't know if those are somehow like linked. Jordan Peele's Us, which I've also seen, was also really good, and like the whole like
great
upside down world and shit. Like, it was awesome.
Great twist ending in that one too.
Yeah, have you seen that one?
Yes, I have.
Because you haven't seen Get Out though, right?
I haven't seen Get Out, but I have seen
both
Us.
of those.
Okay.
I own those movies. You should watch it. They're yeah. I mean, you've already seen Us, but you should watch Get Out. Us was awesome. Yeah, and the twist was it was really good. Both of the Stranger movies.
Dude, the first one, isn't the second one called The Perfect Stranger, or am I thinking something else? No, I am thinking of something else.
Yeah.
The original Strangers movie. What I think
the second one is called Strangers Pray at Night.
Okay.
The Strangers Pray at Night.
Like literally scared the bejesus out of me.
Those movies, yeah, because it's like they don't like talk.
No, they don't. Yeah,
the burlap sack and the fucking smiley face bitch.
Even just like the ending, like was messed up as shit. Like
you should see the sequel. I've seen both of them.
The sequel worse.
The sequel's like just as terrifying.
Jesus,
it's like this family who's like on a road trip, and they get to like they're gonna stay like in these trailers. And like they're gonna stay like in a trailer because they're like trying to get away from like the city or some shit. They're trying to get like their daughter away from like the boyfriend or some shit. I don't know. They decide to stay in like this trailer, and all of a sudden it's like the strangers showed up to like this like trailer park, and just decided that they're just gonna kill everyone. And this family just happens to be like, cool, we picked this weekend to fucking stay here.
So it's
And-
the same strangers. It's the one guy and the two girls.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's the same. It like I don't because I don't.
You
remember-
never see you never see their face. I don't think because literally right at the end, I think they hand their masks to like boys like riding their bikes or something.
Yeah. So so like I don't remember if it's the same killers or not, but it's the same premise. It's 3 people, 2 women and a guy. And yeah, they just start like terrorizing this like campground like area or whatever. One part that just fucking just scared the shit out of me is like the mom is like, kids, run, go hide. And like the daughter gets in like, they go to like a little kid's like playground, and the daughter gets in, you know how some of the playgrounds have like those tubes that you crawl through to get from like one. She gets in like a tube, and like half the tube is like lit up, and she's just like, and then like all of a sudden, and in the darkness, the like one of the girls just like shows her fucking head, and I was like, fuck.
Oh God, man.
Yeah, dude. You should watch that one. The original Purge.
I'd rather not.
The original Purge is like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's like a home invasion movie.
That one's good. I like the original.
I
Purge.
like the Purge series, but like the first one was probably the best one for sure. I haven't seen the.
I haven't
newest
seen
one.
the second one because that's the one where people are trapped outside when the purge goes off.
Yes.
And then the third one is when they're trying to kill the president.
They're trying to kill the new candidate that is potentially going to become the president.
Oh, okay.
That one's like election day.
Yeah,
I
something
think.
like that. Election day or election year. Then the fourth one is like the Purge year 1 or something.
Yeah, the prequel, the
Yeah.
first Purge.
I've seen that one.
I've seen that one too.
And there's a fifth one.
Yeah,
no?
it's like I think that one just came out. I think is the newest one. Then there's like other the Forever Purge.
Oh, so that just sounds like it's a
Purge
lawless,
Anarchy is the second one.
It just sounds like that's a lawless place now. Where
Yeah,
they just do whatever.
they're like on horses and shit. But yeah, that one either just came out or was about to come out because it's 2021. And then there's the Purge TV show also.
There's a Purge TV show.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't seen a single episode of that, but I know there's a TV show.
I've never heard of that. So what would that be like? At the end of every episode, a year passes before before episode 2.
I don't know, or maybe the series takes place over the entire one night or some shit. I don't know.
That could potentially be true.
The Last House on the Left. There's I've seen the original, but I haven't seen the remake, and I do own the remake. I just haven't watched it.
we talked about this last year because
That's another home invasion like horror.
I
movie.
hadn't seen the movie, so I didn't know it, and it was when we played that mashup game where you were mashing up a video game and a movie.
Yeah.
Because I think it was The Last House Left for Dead ended up being like the name, and I was like, I've never seen The Last House on the Left. I didn't even know it was a movie, and then you explained to me how it's like it's like parents lure these teenagers right into the home and start killing them.
Yeah. Well, in the original, it's because they're not. I don't think they're teenagers. They're like young adults though.
Oh.
And they like killed their daughter and their daughter's friend.
And like a car accident.
No. They like murdered them.
And they got away with it, or
Well, like right away, the parents are like, I think because I think the mom notices that one of them is wearing like a necklace of the daughter.
oh,
So they like lure them into the house, and then the parents decide to like murder them.
so I wouldn't really say that one's a home invasion then, though.
I think the remake is different. Like they changed some of the stuff, but like, well, like
When did the original come out?
in the 70s?
Oh, damn! I didn't know it was that old when you told me about it.
Yeah, but the new one's from like the early 2000s.
I'll have to check that out.
The Collector. Have you seen that one?
Isn't that?
There's two of them, but the first one is the home invasion one. The second one is different.
I don't think I have.
It's like a guy in a leather mask. Like you can see the.
Oh,
He like
I think
both of the like covers look the same, except the second one is like blue.
Yeah, I think I remember like the trailer, but I don't ever think like I watched it.
That one's like messed up because like the guy has like traps already set up in the house. He has like razor wire that they can't see, and at one point in the movie, the guy falls through the razor wire and is just like chopped into a shitload of pieces.
So it's just Home Alone with like death traps.
Yeah, it's like Home Alone, but the killer set up traps in the people who live there's house.
Oh.
It's like he got into the house and set up these fucking traps to kill these people.
Oh God, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, so it's like reverse Home Alone. But yeah,
Did you see the second one too, or no?
yeah, I have seen the second one also. That one, the beginning of that one is like, it's like in a nightclub.
Yeah, and like it drops down a bunch of like a lawnmower.
It's like lawnmower, yes,
Yeah.
and people just get like lawnmower to death.
Yeah.
The second one,
Yeah, I think I saw the beginning of the second one. I was like, not for me.
Yeah.
I'm done.
the second one is about like the escape because like he always like takes like a prisoner at the end because that's like why he's like the collector. And he,
Isn't it like rich people are paying to like kill people? Or am I thinking of a different movie?
Well, I think that's like the Purge. in the second one, in Anarchy, they're capturing people and they bring them back, and rich people are like killing these people. That happens in the second Purge movie. But in the second Collector movie, it's like the guy is trying to escape from the place that he was taken to.
Oh, okay. I thought that was, or maybe I'm thinking of
Wait.
Hostel.
No. Yes. In Hostel, people get kidnapped and taken to this place, and rich people pay to
Yeah,
torture and kill people.
Yes. I've seen parts of that.
No, I just remembered an important detail from The Collector. There is a robber in the movie. That guy is in the house to rob these people. That guy doesn't know that there's also a killer in the house who has set up traps.
So the killer stays like
During-
after setting up
yes.
the traps? Okay.
The robber, I believe, is the one who gets abducted at the end of the movie. And in the second movie, he's trying to get away. He's trying to like find a way to escape.
So like the robber ends up being the main character basically?
Kind of, yes.
Oh, fantastic.
The youngest girl from the nanny named Fran,
Okay, yeah.
she's in that movie as an adult.
Weird. I don't think I've seen her in anything. I don't even think I probably would have.
She's in Californication. She's the girl that Hank has sex with at the beginning, who turns out to be 16 or whatever.
Oh,
She punches him in the face.
Yeah. I didn't know that was her.
Yeah. I made you watch. This was one of the movies that I made you watch. When when you were doing the movie review, and it's Dustin Hoffman, and then there was a remake of that movie too, Straw Dogs. Remember you said you didn't like it?
What happened in it?
It's like Dustin Hoffman is an American and he's married to a British woman, and they live in Britain, and they're paying for people to like redo their house.
Oh,
and
yeah,
girl's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and, yeah. And
Wait,
then
it was
at the
called
end-
Straw Dogs?
Yeah. It's called Straw Dogs. And there's a remake of that one, and that one takes place in the U.S.
Are you sure it was called Straw Dogs? Because
Yes.
I know the movie you're talking about. I don't remember it being called Straw Dogs, though.
Yes, it's called
Okay.
Straw Dogs. Yes, it's called Straw Dogs.
Yeah.
And then, like I was saying, there's also movies where there's just like home invasion stuff, but it's not really like horror. There's not like too many jump scares. I'm thinking about that movie Hostage with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Hostage is really good. I was also thinking about that one, too. But it does, like, I do feel like eventually it gets some like terrifying aspects to it once you realize that like one of the like robbers is like a psychopath.
Yeah. I think it's Ben Foster, who's like a pretty famous actor.
But I remember, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, Ben Foster. He's like the... Is he the psycho? No. He's not the psycho. He's the one that gets killed. It's Ben Foster. Ben Foster's the psycho.
Both of them. That one that you're looking at right now, he's in Justified though. He's the one at the end, the cowboy.
Yes. Ben Foster's in a bunch of shit.
Oh. But yeah, Hostage is a good one. I wasn't really like literally. I was just like, I'm gonna say Hostage as soon as we kind of jump off of the horror topic, and you beat me to it.
Sorry,
because that was the only one I could really think of that was like home invasion-y, but not exactly like horror-esque. Because all the other ones,
there's other movies. Well, like this one that I've also seen. It's called Breaking In, and with the girl from Bring It On. God damn it! I'm pretty sure I said her name in the last episode. Shit, what's her name? Gabrielle Union.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That one is like these. She's like on the outside of her house, and people break in, and she's like, "I just want my kids."
Oh, wait, I've seen that. That's a good one. Yeah.
And all she does is like she gets back into the house, and she like takes revenge on these motherfuckers just to save her kids. Yeah, that one's good. Trying to think of like other movies. Because there's other movies like that too, where like they just like find a way to, like the people fight back. Well, like in The Purge, they end up like fighting back. They're not just like scared the whole time.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. Though, like the one thing about it that I thought was super stupid, and it was extremely cheesy just to kind of get the movie going. The dad. He works, like it's literally said at the beginning of the movie that he works for like a security company that makes it so that you can secure your house during the purge, like if you were trying not to be a part of it at all. And then when those guys show up looking to like take back the homeless guy, like they literally just took like a chain up to like the walled off house or whatever security measure they had and then just drove off with it and pulled it like right off. Like, yeah, this didn't seem like to be that safe, like at all. Like it maybe would have been a little different had they like driven the car like into a wall, like make an effort besides like, well, I'll just hook this up here and then just drive away. Like if you're trying to sell me security so that I'm safe during something as dangerous as the purge, I don't want to know that someone can just bring a chain in a truck and still get inside of my house.
That's true.
I want automatic turrets. Is what I want.
Well, they didn't pay for the premium package.
That's probably it.
This is one that I haven't seen, but I'm seeing it's Elizabeth Olsen. This movie called Silent House, and I think we can watch it on somewhere. So we might have to check that one out. This one isn't really like an invasion per se. It is kind of like a classic horror movie, but the Cabin, is that what it's called? The one with Chris Hemsworth.
You mean The Cabin in the Woods?
Yes.
That's just straight up a horror movie.
It is,
not
but
a
like
home invasion.
It is, but like they're all in a cabin and they're kind of like stuck there.
Yeah, but they like, what is it? Don't they like go into like a basement?
They end up like going, they end up like going down and figuring out that like the whole thing is like
an experiment.
No. The whole thing is they have to appease the old gods. They have to bring people here and they are sacrificed. There's like stones. There's like an altar where their blood gets collected. And if they don't sacrifice these people by like midnight, then the old gods will come back and destroy the world. And that's what ends up happening. Everyone dies at the end, but not the way that they're supposed to die. They don't get everyone killed by midnight. And
Are you sure? I could have sworn the ending of Cabin in the Woods is it kind of like peers out and it's like people like on a computer kind of have been like controlling everything.
no. There is a computer. There are people down there. They're actually betting on. It's the dad from Step Brothers.
Oh,
I've seen the movie. They're actually betting on because they have all these different mythical fucking monsters.
yeah.
And it's like based on what the people that are in the house will trigger what gets released to kill them. It's like if they interact with this book, then it'll be this. If they interact with this, it'll be this. If they interact with this, then it'll be this monster that gets released. And it's like based on what, and then they figure out that they get into the basement and they get into this place and they release all the monsters and all the monsters end up killing all the people that work at this facility. And then at the end, the girl who's like the virgin hasn't been killed yet. So like I think the main person is like Sigourney Weaver, who's the girl from Alien.
Yeah.
And she's like, if you don't die, then the whole world will come to an end. And she's like, fuck you. And they like kill Sigourney Weaver. And then at the very end, it's like a giant hand comes out and destroys the house and basically kills everybody inside. And that's how the movie ends. So it's just like
a giant house or hand just.
Yes. So it's like the old gods who are not appeased that they didn't get their sacrifice. So they're like, well, now the world's going to end.
Oh,
and that's how the movie ends. So you're just like, oh, I guess the world ended.
Strange. All right, cool.
There's that other movie, Black Christmas. There's like an original, which is like
there's an original, and then there was a remake.
Yes,
I guess
that one's like a home invasion movie.
You could also say Krampus is a home invasion movie.
Yeah, I guess you could, except that one's also kind of like more of a horror. Like we were talking about more home invasion because it's like these are real people that come into the house and just decide we're going to just kill everybody.
What about Monster House? That's a home invasion.
That cartoon movie?
Yeah.
You
never seen Monster House?
No, I think I've seen it. I mean, a long time ago.
Brian got the game on the GameCube, and I remember watching him play a lot of it.
There's this movie that I haven't seen, but I've heard is like actually really terrifying. Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. I think that's a home invasion movie. And I think they decide to like fight back.
Mother.
Yeah. It's right here.
Is Jennifer Lawrence the bad guy?
No, Jennifer Lawrence. I think it's one of those things where like these people invade the house and then they quickly realize that they've invaded the wrong fucking house.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna break into this house and steal their shit or fucking hold them ransom. And then it's like, you broke into the Manson family house, you fucking idiots.
God. That would be very bad. Very bad.
But yeah, some of those, like I said, some of them are like horror, some of them are not. You should definitely check out Fear, Cape Fear, the Strangers movies. Those are like real scary. The Last House on the Left. Here's one that I've actually seen.
I need to check. Like, I want to check out the remake of The Last House on the Left. See what that's about.
I have it. We could just watch it. Knock Knock, which stars Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves who?
And Ana de Armas, who's the new Bond girl, by the way, which we need to go see that movie.
We need to go see that. We have to go see Carnage 2.
Yeah. Well, there will be Carnage, not Carnage 2.
Oh,
it's not a sequel.
I'm an idiot. that would involve first an original Carnage, which there wasn't.
But the movie Knock Knock.
Keanu I was saying Carnage TOO. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
The movie called Knock Knock. Keanu Reeves gets a knock at the door. He answers it. It's
what
like
you mean a knock at the door?
Yes. It's like two women who are like drenched, and they're like, "Our car broke down. Can we need some help?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, come in."
Dude, is that what that's originally from? Because I'm pretty sure that's referenced in like other movies. Like, I'm all wet. Can I come inside?
No. This is a new movie. I just said it's Ana de Armas.
Oh, okay, sorry.
She's like our age.
Oh no. Okay, never mind.
No.
Forget I said anything.
That movie that you're talking about,
Mulligan.
That movie that you're talking about is what is it? The neighbor next door, the girl next door.
No, the girl next door. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, I'm all wet. Can I come in?
Yeah, but I thought
that's a porno, Tito.
First of all, it's not a porno; it's a movie. But I thought that was like her like making a callback to something older, probably. I don't know.
No, I mean, maybe she made a callback to that movie. Anyway,
Yeah.
these two girls, they asked to come inside because their car broke down and it's like raining outside, whatever. He lets them in, and then they decide that they're just gonna like fucking seduce him and do all this shit. And at the end of the movie, well, I won't spoil it because
did you just watch? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Not like maybe like a couple years ago, because it's like
it's not.
It's from 2015, so it's like
okay.
6 years old. But I watched it a few years ago. But it's kind of like a psychological thriller because it's not like really horror. But
is it like strangers? Like they screw around with him and then they hide in the house and
they
terrorize
screw.
him?
No. They just screw with him though, like the whole fucking time, because they like one of the girls basically rapes Keanu Reeves, and the other girl like films it, and then they're like, "We're gonna tell your wife if you don't give us like all your money," and like they do like all this shit to him. They just like screw with him the whole fucking time, and like he tries to kill them, but like then they turn into like psychos on him, and it's just fucked up. It's just like a fucked movie. But yeah, I watched it a few years ago.
I've never heard
Knock
of it.
Knock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, there's just a few like home invasion movies. If you're like, I'm not really into super horror, and I just kind of want to watch like some thriller type shit. Those are some movies that you might.
Regardless, you'll get
Want to
nightmares.
see. Yeah. Regardless, don't blame us for the night terrors.
New trauma and fears, ready for you.
But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this. I'm not, like I said, stay tuned. We're gonna be doing more spooky stuff in the weeks to come.
Maybe we'll dress up. I'd like to dress up for an episode.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Well, we gotta find outfits first.
We've got some stuff planned for the next like 2 weeks. So just stay tuned for that. But don't forget to check out the merch. For those of you who won, you'll be getting your merch soon.
One of you did get your merch already. But hers was a little bit easier. I work with her, so the other stuff for our good friend Jamie Z, and then my buddy Joe, you guys will be coming in soon, and then we'll be able to send that out to you guys.
But yeah, but don't think we forgot about that.
Never.
But anyways, if you do want to check out the merch, of course, links below. If not, that's cool. You could please share this with your friends or anybody that you think might like to listen to these two dumbasses just ramble about shit. But
Nerdy shit.
Tito, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BanditoTito93. Guys, you can always just at me or DM me. I'd love to talk to you guys about anything. Love audience interaction. What about you, Junior?
You guys can also DM me at pops.maniac as well as nerdy.bros.inc on Instagram. Anytime if you guys want to talk about anything, let us know what you think about the show. Let us know about something that you think you might want to hear us talk about. Yeah, but that's going to be it for this week, guys.
Okay, guys, boy.